I welcome you all on behalf of SIA-INDIA to this prestigious conference which is happening. And starting with the first session of the day, we have a session on India and Italy's expanding space synergy. And to put on more light on that, I would like to tell you what this session is all about. So, as India and Italy elevate their bilateral partnerships through the Joint Strategic Action Plan for 2025 to 2029, this session will explore the expanding scope of space collaboration between two nations, with cooperation deepening across critical domains. The Indo-Italian partnership offers promising avenues for joint ventures, advanced research and technology development. In order to start this session, I would request Mr. Pavan Kapil, who is the board member of SIA-INDIA. He has been also later. I request him to come over here and give our esteemed panelists over here.
Good afternoon on behalf of SIA, and it's a pleasure to have Indo-Italian collaborative discussion over here, and especially where the two head of the states, the two prime ministers, have excellent relationship between the two countries, and we are, I think we are going to go in for a very important session with the collaboration of embassy and industry for the current discussion, where space industry is immensely big in India. It has such huge potential. We are all transiting from telecom to now satellite, and from satellite to complete space industry. So looking forward, and would like to invite Antonietta, Ms. Antonietta, Italian Trade Commissioner. I think we'll fill up with the embassy, Sergio, Ledda, Scientific Attaché, embassy, from the embassy. From the industry, Mr. Roberto Simonetti, ELT Group, Chief Rep Officer. And Mr. Roberto Pierdominici, MD Leonardo Space India. Looking forward to a very interesting session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Thank you, sir. To begin with this enlightening session, we would like to firstly play a video message by Professor Teodoro Valente, the President of the Italian Space Agency. May we please play the video?
Distinguished authorities and colleagues, it's a pleasure to address you today, even though I regret not being able to join you in person at the India Space Congress. The political dialogue between Italy and India has reached an unprecedented level, culminating in the signing of the Italy-India Joint Strategic Action Plan 2025-2029 by Prime Ministers Meloni and Modi. This roadmap highlights space as a priority area, with joint efforts foreseen in lunar exploration, technology development, and industrial and commercial cooperation. ASI and ISRO are already translating this vision into concrete outcomes. In recent months, our teams have advanced projects in Earth observation and heliophysics. I would like to mention the ASI-ISRO workshop held at the International Astronautical Congress in Milan, where experts exchanged insights on satellite application, including application for agriculture. Another milestone is our collaboration within the G20 framework, where ASI supports Israel's proposal for a climate monitoring satellite with Italian payload. In May, ASI participated in the GLEX 2025, a highly successful event co-organized by AIF and Israel in New Delhi. Gathered broad international participation and featured a strong Italian presence, reflecting our growing role in space exploration. Italy has also promoted space industry collaboration through 3 major initiatives. The Italy-India Space Industry Day, December 2023, co-organized by ASI and InSpace, which brought together over 40 companies for technical exchanges and B2B meetings. The Italy-India Business Forum, April 2025 in New Delhi, where ASI supported a delegation of Italian space companies exploring new opportunities. The Strategic Economic Partnership meeting, June 2025, in Italy, Brescia, where ASI led a dedicated session on space with the participation of Indian and Italian industry leaders. Looking ahead, ASI is preparing the Italian space industry mission to India, scheduled for the end of September. This mission, announced in Brescia, reflects our shared commitment to deepening industrial cooperation. It will include senior government representatives and a strong business delegation, with technical visits and high-level meetings organized in close coordination with the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our embassy in New Delhi, ISRO, and InSpace. I wish you a successful continuation of the Indian Space Congress and a fruitful discussion in the days ahead. Thank you.
I now have the honor of inviting on stage our next speaker, Professor Sergio Ledda. He is a scientific attaché at the Italian Embassy in New Delhi.
Hi, thank you for the invitation. Thank you to be here. And I will be just an overview, which is the kind of collaboration we have between Italy and India, specific on the science area, and of course in space sector. What I would like to underline with the first slide, that we have this collaboration is moving almost 25 years. So there is the collaboration between the 2 agencies, especially, but also some other actors. So 25 years is a very strong and intense and growing collaboration is moving on. And as the President was mentioned before, this collaboration is pushed every year more and more. And recently, in November, the 2 Prime Ministers were again underlined how important this collaboration. There was the joint action plan that will define the collaboration, the level of this collaboration is became to be strategic between the 2 countries. So, and this will, of course, will be involve companies, but also the research area. This is very important for both of us. So, which are the actors that are collaborating now? I already mentioned the 2 agencies, of course, but there are some other Italian institutions, the English institutions, they are trying to make bridges and to have some specific projects. So we have a very interesting portfolio of actors from Italy and the respective one from India. And during these 25 years, we have some collaboration also in what we call executive project of bilateral scientific cooperation. And this project, there were some beyond the astrophysics, quite a lot also in the space sector. So we understand we need this enhance of research to face the new challenges we want to afford. So just to, already the President mentioned which are the main subjects we want to develop in terms of research and collaboration. One is the Earth observation, the satellite Earth observation. And of course, in this case, we use also not only the power of Italy, but we are collaborating quite a lot with the Europe framework. So there is something that we are bringing in Europe, like in the ESA or other organizations, and something that's coming from Italy directly. So this is the kind of effort we are producing. And of course, this satellite observation, in this case, are mainly for civil application. They are, just to mention, agriculture, climate change, ocean, changes and pollution and so on. And as we know, this satellite as they increase in definition of image, and also the hyperspectral images are something that can work even without any visible condition, are providing a very important information. This world has changed so much. And this the geophysics also, because it's another topic is quite important. We are developing a common project with India. There are some working groups, joint steering committee, they are working together. And the other one is the space exploration. Of course, India has become one of the leaders in the space of exploration, but Italy is contributing very much also, combined with India. Sometimes we are not making our proper mission, but we are trying to be involved and to provide some of this technological advance there for this exploration. What is interesting for Lady Antonietta, when you mentioned about this, Italy is interesting because it can be complementary for many other countries, and also we have all the components they are needed to complete the mission in some way. And I just would like to mention something more recently. As Italy now, we launched a new interesting satellite that is is like a GPS in the space condition, and this will be very important for the next lunar mission, next Mars mission, especially the lunar one. So just to understand exactly how they are moving the rovers and the rockets and so on. Of course, another interesting things we are developing in terms of science is this the possibility to extract oxygen, also probably to extract some water by the lunar sander, I want to say, the regolith. And this is an interesting project that we are developing by the European framework again. And I would like to mention this Polytechnico Milano. So we try to design this main picture where there is the research coming from the academia with the space agency and with the companies. This is the kind of system we are looking for. Another, just to finish, I don't want to take you longer, is another project we are now looking for a collaboration with India, is on the gravitational waves. So gravitational waves are being hypothesized by Einstein many years ago, and finally we were able to detect the presence of these gravitational waves, and we want to use this research project to understand especially how there is the evolution of the universe that is expanding continuously, but was probably coming from the beginning, and also some important area of astrophysics like black matter, the black holes and so on. So gravitational waves can provide a lot of information about the evolution of the universe. And this the lens structure they are used now to make this gravitational waves detection. We have one in Italy, but also India is moving to have the same infrastructures. And we are now candidates in Italy. We are competing with some other European countries to make the free generation gravitational waves detector. So in Italy, we are thinking that we can be a good place to make the new infrastructure. There will be around 3 billion euro, so there will be a very important one. And these are the two areas, the two candidates we have in Europe. Probably we are going to see if we can make two infrastructures instead to have one. And one will be in Sardinia, in one island in Italy, because is a good candidate place because there is no any interference into the detection, so it's important to have a special place. And another project we are collaboration, again, in the gravitational waves. This is a project that's been approved recently in our bilateral scientific cooperation, is to think if we could put an antenna into the moon, and this antenna can be used for the gravitational waves detector. Instead to have the infrastructure in the land, in the Earth, we can think to have this antenna in the moon. It could be an alternative approach. So we cannot travel to the moon, but India can travel, and we can bring some specific instruments that we are developing in Italy, and we can share all this knowledge. And this is what we are looking to do. And this collaboration was starting 2 years ago, and I had the privilege to have this meeting to plan what we would like to do. I told you the project now is approved, and you can see in the photo there are some important foreign people there for this role. They were quite contributing for your growing research in the space sector in India. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Ledda, for highlighting the cooperation between Italy and India in the space sector. Well, it's now my pleasure and privilege to invite on stage Miss Antonietta Baccanari, the Trade Commissioner and Director of the Italian Trade Commission in New Delhi.
Good afternoon, buon pomeriggio, namaste, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to address you today at the Congress that resonates with the shared value of Italy and India in the space journey. Special thanks to our partner ASI, Italian Space Agency, the Italian Embassy in India and its scientific attaché, Professor Sergio Ledda, as well as two of the most important Italian companies in the aerospace sector, such as Leonardo, represented here by Mr. Roberto Pierdominici, and Health Group, represented here by Mr. Roberto Simonetti Spallotta. My thanks also to Leap Space, we will join us, and it will be represented by Mr. dalani. I am also grateful to the organizer of the India Space Congress, the Subcom Industry Association, for putting together such an amazing program. Before I begin my presentation, just I would like to briefly address you with a short description of what the Italian Trade Agency is. The Italian Trade Agency is the government agency that supports the business development of Italian companies abroad and promotes the attraction of foreign investment to Italy. With a widespread network of more than 75 offices in 65 countries, the Italian Trade Agency provides information, assistance, consulting, promotion, and training to Italian companies, above all small and medium-sized companies. In India, we have offices in New Delhi, in Mumbai, a desk in Bangalore, and two foreign direct investment units in Mumbai and in Delhi. But now let's get back to my presentation, which will focus on the Italian space industry and the opportunities for collaboration between the Italian and the Indian ecosystem. The aerospace industry plays a relevant role in the national economy. It stands out among the high-tech industries, producing innovation capable of cross-fertilizing the whole supply chain between large champions and many innovative SMEs, as well as spilling over to other national industry and technological enablers. Italian aviation industry ranks 4th in Europe and 7th in the world by size, with leadership positions in civil helicopters, regional aircraft and propulsions. The aircraft spacecraft and related devices segment alone in 2022 accounted for a turnover of about 13.4 billion euro and employed more than 45,000 people. Following a downturn during the COVID-19 pandemic, exports of aircraft, spacecraft-related equipment have regained momentum, surpassing pre-pandemic figures. In 2024, the sector recorded a notable export value of 6.7 billion euro. While this marked a slight decline compared to the previous year, promising signs emerged with renewed growth in export to the United States, UK, while India is ranked in the first 20 most preferred export partners to Italy. So the Italian industry is one of the few in the world which is able to cover all the space supply chain. Large system integrators and large companies specialized in complex system integration, about 200 small and medium-sized companies engaged in upstream and downstream activities, startups able to innovate and stay ahead of new technology trends. Italy has a rich tradition in the aerospace industry. It supports a thriving aerospace ecosystem that combines cutting-edge technology with a deeper-rooted passion for exploration and discovery. What truly sets Italy apart is its comprehensive aerospace value chain, encompassing design services, aircraft systems, engine production, component manufacturing, assembly, maintenance, and support services. The Italian space industry has a long history with more than 200 space companies, 12 technological clusters, 1 national cluster, and 3 national associations, IPAS, IIA, and ASAS. Italy hosts a numerous of important key players and multinational in its land, and many foreign companies have already chosen Italy for their business activities and partnership. So, as already said, Italy has a long tradition in space industry. Just to mention some dates, in 1964, Italy launched its first satellite. In 1988, the Italian Space Agency was founded, and Italy is one of the European Space Agency founders and the third contributor to ESA budget. Italy has a very wide and articulate industrial value chain from upstream to midstream and downstream. It has a competitive space industry with solid and long-lasting capabilities from system integration, payload design, and subsystem to value-added services and applications. There are large system integrators, satellites, ground infrastructure, and launching systems, small system integrators, payload and satellites of all sizes, and a vibrant and wide community of small and medium-sized companies, including startups and spin-offs, with very good performance and an excellent potential for growth. Italy is a growing space economy and has a long relationship with space. It began, as already said, in 1964, when the country launched its first satellite, the third country to do so after the USA and Russia, if the use of own technology considered. Since then, the Italian space sector has grown to employ over 7,000 people, generate around 1.9 billion euro in annual revenue, and accounts 250 companies, of which 20% big companies and the rest SMEs. Italy is also the country which invests most in the space. Now is investing 7.3 billion euro in space program through 2026, including a major contribution to ESA budget. It demonstrates Italy's strategic commitment to building a strong, future-proof space economy. The development of a national plan for the space economy and a fund to promote activities in the space economy are aimed to foster the growth of the market for innovative products and services based on the use of space technologies and the commercial use of infrastructure. The National Recovery and Resilience Plan also includes investment in satellite technology and space economy for a total amount of 3.75 billion euros of total investment. The plan includes 4 pillars: SATCOM, Earth observation, space factory, and in-orbit economy. This covers end-to-end development from satellites to launchers, digital twins, and the orbital track system. Together, they build a robust space system ecosystem from hardware to data services. Italian companies, universities, and research centers actively participate in European research programs as well as in the national and regional ones, whose objectives for aeronautics are sustainability, eco-compatibility, and digitalization. Italy has got an excellent scientific production. It ranks amongst the top 10 countries for aerospace engineer and space and planetary science. Just to mention some of the most important public and research and development centers, CIRA, CNR, ENEA, INAP, IFEN, and ESA-ESRIN, which is dedicated to ESA Earth observation activities. Even if we consider the startups ecosystem, we can mention Galaxia, which is the Italian technology transfer hub, and promotes deep tech startups, leverage IP developed at the National Research Center and University with the goal of disrupting the aerospace market by investing early stage and talented scientists and entrepreneurs. Galaxy operates through pre-seed, POC investment or seed investment, and besides apart from financial investment and support, it provides a tailor-made technical incubation and business creation. So, just to sum up, why collaborate with the Italian aerospace industry? Italy is a gateway to a 290 billion European aerospace industry with a growing demand. Its geographic and logistical advantages connect investors to both the European Union and global markets. The country is well positioned for scale-up and cross-border cooperation. More, in Italy, there are very different specialized technological clusters. The National Aerospace Technological Cluster is the aggregation of the main regional technological district, industrial and research players in the aeronautical and space sectors. But at a different regional level, we have so many different regional clusters, each of them is specialized in different parts of this industry. Just to mention Lazio Aerospace with the Lazio Innova, Lombardia Aerospace, Piedmont and Campania, among the others. Italy offers also numerous specialized human resources and new graduates with a high level of training, and Italian universities are interesting partners for customized research and training activities. Last but not least, Italy offers a high competitive labor cost compared to the other European companies. So to sum up, Italy is the perfect platform for collaborating in the aerospace sector. Italy is the ideal destination for aerospace foreign companies and investors, thanks to a strong industrial base, the presence of key players, reliable suppliers, and potential industrial partners, a high level of research and development center, skilled human resources at a competitive cost, unique research and test infrastructures, availability of business opportunities, incentives, and free of charge support services. And just to mention, as already mentioned by the President of ASI, we are planning to organize an industry and institutional mission to India, bringing together large, small, and startups companies in the space sector. It will take place in the second half of September, and we will organize this in close cooperation with the Embassy of Italy and with the InSpace and other Indian associations in the space sector. We will start from New Delhi, and then we will visit Hyderabad, and we land in Bangalore. So to conclude, I'm confident with today's seminar there will be more synergies between Italy and India in the space sector, paving the way of a new form of collaboration and knowledge exchange, further enriching our partnership. The collaboration between Indian and Italian space industry holds the promises of unlocking new frontier of success. Together, we can propel the space industry to great heights, fostering economic development and shaping a brighter future. We have come a long way, and now we are ready to take the next giant leap together ahead. Thank you.
So we will take the Q&A, we'll do the Q&A at the end of the session. Please hold on to that. Thank you. And thank you, Director Baccanari, for enlightening us on the various opportunities between Italy and India and the promising collaborations on the horizon. Well, I'm pleased to invite our next wonderful speaker, Mr. Roberto Pierdominici. He's a Managing Director in Leonardo Aerospace Defense and Security, India, to share his insights with us.
Namaste, good afternoon, buon pomeriggio. As my friends done before, I have to say thanks to the organizer and thanks to the Italian Trade Agency and the Italian Embassy for organizing, giving us this opportunity to present the company. Leonardo is one of the older companies in defense. You can see from this picture, which is a very nice picture, black and white. We started to do defense system before the end of the 19th century. So we have more than 130 years of experience in defense. Of course, for what concerns the space, it's slightly less, because space adventure started quite later on. Just a few words on the company. I don't want to take too much time because my good friend Roberto, otherwise will be upset with me. It's too big to fight with him. So, as I say, we are a big company. We have 60,000 people worldwide. We consider 4 domestic markets, which is Italy, UK. We are the second largest defense company in UK. We have a company in the US and also in Poland. Our presence worldwide is on 129 sites, and we are working with 150 people. One important thing that I would like to highlight is that the company is on the market, is a share company, but 30% of the share belongs to the Italian Ministry of Economy. This is very important for 2 reasons. The first reason is that the company is controlled by the government. The Italian government wants to control the defense market. And the second very important reason is that we are supported 100% from the Italian government, being part of the stock. We are a big company. We have also several, I don't know if you can see it, but as I said, Leonardo UK is 100% owned by Leonardo. For what concerns the space, I want to make it shorter, otherwise it takes too long. We have a participation in Thales Marine Space, which is 33% belongs to Leonardo, together with our friends from Thales. Telespazio is exactly the opposite. 67% belongs to Leonardo, 33% belongs to Thales. We have also participation in Avio. Avio is the Italian launcher for the space mission, and we, for the space, I think is enough. I would like to say that, unfortunately, due to the geopolitical situation, the numbers that we are aiming last year and the one that we are aiming this year are quite good. It's not nice to say, but it's the reality. The geopolitical situation is pushing everybody to go forward on acquisition and the development of the defense system. So we have this 18 billion euro revenues. But it's very important to highlight that of this revenue, 2.5 billion euro are invested in research and development. The company never stopped to create new technology, to go, let's say, to match the requirement of the Italian, basically, principally of the Italian defense system. Then, of course, it will be shared worldwide with our friends. Okay, this is just a few words to show that we have 30,000 people involved in research and development. And we have, where is the point? We have a huge amount of resources that are from the STEM, from the science, technology, and math engineering. For what concerns the company, we are a multi-domain. We have 5 divisions. One is aeronautics, then we have electronics, helicopters, cyber and security, and space. Space is the latest division created by Leonardo. This gives us the capability to propose not a single platform or a single system, but we can propose you an integrated system which includes all the kind of needs a country can have, starting from fighters, UAV, computing, also combat cloud, naval combat system, new space division for the space cloud, and cyber security. So we can provide a complete environment for defense and space. Again, those are the main domain that we are involving. And space, this is the reason why I'm here. We recently created, just a few months ago, the space division. Space for Leonardo was a line of business included in the electronic division. The new CEO, Mr. Roberto is a scientist. He understood the potential, the importance of the space, so he decided that the line of business would become a dedicated division. The division will be in charge of all our capability for what concerns the space. I'm running fast because otherwise Roberto will be upset with me. And we have, again, system solution and services. We can provide equipment and payloads. We can provide cyber security for the space. So this is very important. We are involved on any kind of space domain, any kind of space system. I want just to, okay, this is the very important one. As I said, we can start from the, mission definition. We can go to the space segment, ground segment, launch, manufacturing, and services. We have capability for operation in orbit and control, mission control. We have other enablers, cloud, high-performance computer, artificial intelligence, cyber security, network platforming, and application and services. So we are really a world capability, we have a really world capability for providing any kind of services for the space. How we do this? We do this with this organization. As I say, Leonardo Space Division is the brand new created. Under the division we have Thales Alenia Space and Avio, we have mentioned before. We have Telespazio and Igeos. Igeos is a company which is created, is a joint venture between Telespazio and the Italian Space Agency. We have, they are specialized in providing services, satellite services. And we have also capability, which is the business unit inside the space division. We have a business unit for payloads, robotics, and equipment. It's quite a lot. Sometimes I say our portfolio is too big, especially for me that I'm covering the whole portfolio here in India. We have this capability, and we have now started with a very important, it's been just announced by our CEO, we are now creating our own satellite constellation. So we will be another private, the first private company in Italy to have a satellite constellation in our home, to which we can provide services and other space requirements. Just jumping because it's too much technician maybe and too much information. We have a lot of capabilities that are, you see, this is what I was saying. We will have this kind of small satellite constellation, which is something that is quite, I don't want to say unusual, but for a European company it's quite unusual. And this will give us the possibility to, again, provide to the customer a whole services, starting from optical, laser, radar, and any kind of communication and system and services. The solution that we can provide again is electro-optical, atomic clocks. We have a very, let's say, high state-of-the-art atomic clock. We can provide robotics for the module. We have also platform equipment. So we are in the whole field of equipment. We have 3 main factories in Italy. One is Negriano, near Panellists, which is equipment and robotics. Then we have payloads and sensors nearby Florence, and nearby Rome we have the latest capability. Telespazio is a company that I mentioned before. They provide satellite services and solutions for maritime, energy, corporate broadcasting, government and defense communication provided by Telespazio, all protected by the cyber and security solution of Leonardo. We can also provide another very important thing, which is the data centering solution. So we can manage a lot of data. We have, inside the company, we have one high performance computer, which is called Day01, which has a capability of computing data that is even difficult to understand how much it can do in 1 second. We are designing now the new one, the Day02. So we have also this capability to manage all the data coming from the satellite or the sensors. Oh, is it already finished? Too fast. Okay. So I will say that Day01 and Day02, those are the 2 computers that give Leonardo also the possibility to interact with artificial intelligence for any kind of requirements coming from the customer. And then if you have any question, I will be there for the question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pierdominici, for offering your views on the future of space, defense, and the immense potential in the Indian market. Please allow me to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Roberto Simonetti. He is the Chief Representative Officer for India at the ELT Group.
Namaste, good afternoon everyone. Thank you so much for your presence today. Thanks of course to the Italian Trade Agency and the Italian Embassy for this opportunity. And of course thanks to my friend Roberto for keeping his speech considerately and very brief and to the point. So thank you so much. I am here to tell you about the company ELT Group Elettronica. It's a privately owned company founded in 1951 in Rome. The company is focused on electronic warfare mainly and started its operation in India in 2009. The journey has been so far very nice and entertaining to some extent, and we're now working with several DPSUs in India for the co-manufacturing and also for the co-developing of systems for the armed forces. The portfolio of Elettronica is not as wide as Leonardo's, but as I said before, we are focused on electronic warfare, so it's quite niche type of business segment. Nevertheless, it covers the 5 domains. So we started the delivery of systems mainly for airborne applications for fighters, so electronic countermeasures for fighters back in the 70s, and then gradually expanded our reach to all sorts of electronic support measures, ELINT, SIGINT mission for ELINT and SIGINT missions. So this, over the years, again, we expanded into naval domain and land domain, offering complete solutions for electronic warfare operations, or as we call it today, electromagnetic spectrum operations. These gradually, surely, effectively reached also the cyber domain when in 2019 we started a dedicated company for cyber security and cyber intelligence. This led us gradually to reaching also the space domain, where in 2024, last year, we launched our first payload for ESM, for electronic spectrum, electronic magnetic spectrum operations. So this payload is called Scorpio, and it's designed to provide intelligence data to be transferred to the ground segment. This payload is currently flying. It's in orbit, in low Earth orbit, and it's the first product that we space qualified for these specific applications. We are just about to launch a new payload very soon, next year. And this will be, again, basically dedicated to navigational warfare. So having said that, I will go straight to the relevance of space for electronica. As we all are aware, all the aspects that were discussed before, Earth observation, SATCOM navigation, is all part of what we see every day for space applications in our everyday life. Of course, most of the specific capabilities are designed with respect to our business, are designed for military applications. But this also expands to, in general, for dual use and mainly also for maritime security. So this capability basically can be exploited for a number of different applications. So the idea behind this evolving into space basically comes from these applications themselves. So the space is vulnerable, as we understand. Everything that has to do with electronics in general is vulnerable. So space is absolutely vulnerable. We need to take into account soft effects and hard effects. We, as a company dedicated to electronic warfare, we are specializing on soft effects. So we deal with everything that has to do with deception, jamming, laser binding, spoofing, all aspects that are covered through the capabilities that ELT Group and Electronica has within its capability. The hard effects, of course, as you can see very clearly, are not specifically managed by our product line, but we, of course, are able to integrate the capabilities with these effectors as well. Again, the aim of EMCO's systems is to provide protection. So it's exactly as we do with platforms on the ground, or airborne, or naval. We provide protection to assets in space. And this goes through, of course, a number of different scenarios, as you can see, covering not only the user, the space segment, the ground segment, but also covering aspects that may not be as looked at as very significant, but in fact they are, and I'm referring to supply chain security and also to making sure that the systems are secure by design, cyber resilient, and as well as the supply chain, as we saw in the events that happened last year during the campaign really very popular, unfortunately, campaign that happened last year in Gaza, in Lebanon, where the pagers were subject to some security breaches, and then they were used as weapons. So this is one of the aspects that supply chain security comes into place. How we ensure that these operations are conducted safely and they are delivered exactly as planned. By using these capabilities in electronic warfare in space, we are able to acquire data with RF spectrum monitoring satellites, and then through these systems we are able to locate emitters, find the potential threats, and of course adapt to changing and complex scenarios. So it's basically, you must look at these capabilities as big ears and eyes watching the Earth and gathering electronic information from all sorts of potential sources, from radar, from emitters in general, and then create the library and then understand how these threats are evolving on the ground or at sea. And this is a picture of the payload, the space mission that we did last year for the Scorpio system. This you see on the far right side of the slide, a picture of the payload and several snapshots of the satellite in orbit. As I said, it's designed for low Earth orbit operations, and it's designed again for small payloads. So this has been in orbit for now nearly a year and a half, and providing information to the ground segment. Of course, this is Scorpio 1. We are, as I said before, we are looking at the next mission, Scorpio 2, next year. This is a visual of the human-machine interface. So operators on the ground, at ground segment level, they can gather information from, in this circumstance, from naval operations. You get information about all emitters that are under the eye of the satellite at a very specific moment. So by getting the information from the payload, from the Scorpio payload in space, the system is able to recognize all possible threats and get this information properly arranged in the libraries. So this basically means that the applications of these big ears and eyes in space are used very effectively for these specific applications. So gathering information about sources, electromagnetic sources, for example, for navigation, security, and this is absolutely important also if we look at what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz or any other important commercial lines across the Indo-Pacific region, not least, of course, the next IMEC project, the corridor linking the Indian Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea. So all these aspects regarding security of commercial lines is absolutely of paramount importance. And this is a specific application. Again, it's for space, but it's basically it is operated on the ground. And this type of system is designed in order to guarantee a spoofing-free zone for all operators on the ground. So basically, what this system does is a countermeasure in order to provide the operators on the ground to have capabilities on their GPS functioning, even if someone is trying to spoof or to jam the GPS capability of the unit. So it's a countermeasure used on the ground for ground operations. And this last product or system of capability that I want to show you and talk about is it's called anti-SAR jamming. I'm sorry, it's at the far end of the bottom line of this slide. So it's basically designed to it's a countermeasure. So it's designed to jam any SAR imaging from space. So this picture you see on the right is it's central Rome. It's near the main railway station in Rome. You may recognize these long lines here. It's the railway lines in the central station of Rome. And what we did in this specific test, we used our anti-SAR capability to neutralize the SAR imaging satellite operations. And the result of this is basically having this anti-SAR system based, as you can see in the last the picture at the bottom of this slide. The image resulting out of this is this number of pixels spread along the region, which basically denies the possibility to gather information about the specific area. And that's the picture I was mentioning before. So I believe this is it for ELT group presentations today. Thank you very much for your attention. Happy to take your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Simonetti. That was very interesting and very, in-depth overview of the electromagnetic spectrum operation and your highly specialized, achievements in this highly specialized field. I would like to also mention that we have a few more Italian companies that are present with us, namely Nanotech SPA, that is Zopas Industry, and unfortunately Impulso Space also was going to be here, but because of the current situation we couldn't make it. But we have someone from Leaf Space LLC who's going to give us a quick short overview about his company. So I'd like to invite Mr. Day01, the Managing Director of Leaf Space LLC, to join us on stage and share a brief introduction to his company.
Who's hungry? All right, I'll try to keep this session as long as physically possible going on so that, you actually taste the food. This is Day01, Managing Director of Leaf Space. I run the US office for Leaf. We are based in Milan, Italy. About 50 people, started about 10, 11 years ago. And what we do is, I'll have to give you a basic lesson in satellite communications. So what we do is basically, whenever satellites go up, rockets go up, you saw that Axiom 4 launch. Who watched the launch? Almost all of you, okay. So how did they get that video feed? How are they getting the metrics? This is the speed, this is the altitude, this is the first stage burn. It's all through communications, through the antennas that are deployed all over the world. So we provide those services as well. What we do is we provide a network of antennas globally where satellite operators and rocket launchers, they are able to communicate to the ground. So they are able to click pictures, send that data downstream, the imagery that Mr. Roberto presented, all of that goes to our antennas, not necessarily those from their satellites, but from our customer satellites. So that's basically what we do. We put large antennas on the ground and we operate it as a network, and satellite operators, they rent time, just like Airbnb models, they rent time on our network, and it's on a pay-per-use model. So let's see, I'm presenting half slide only. So what we do is, we've put a large number of antennas already. We have over 100 customers, 100 satellites on our network, and we continue our expansion of putting more and more antennas. Right now it's low Earth orbit communication that we support, but in the future we are going to GEO, cislunar, deep space, so it's all in our roadmap as well. I won't go through the boring statistics. These are some examples of companies that we work with. We have been working with a lot of Indian companies. They're finding a lot of success in the space industry, which is, I would say, really impressive given their growth trajectory. And let's see what else. What does that have to present? Yeah, some pictures of our antennas around the world. Iceland, Chile, Sri Lanka, Australia, South Korea, they're all around the place. If you want to talk more about ground stations, if you want to talk more about communications, how we can handle your satellite operations and communications, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here for today and tomorrow, as well as these are my credentials. Feel free to email me, take down my number, no problems at all. And that's it. I relieve you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Day01. As we conclude today's session, I would like to open the floor now for questions that you may have for our speakers. We have someone with the mic.
Good afternoon.
It's on.
Yeah. So, it's on.
Yes, it's on.
Thank you. Good afternoon. We have sold last year approximately 1 million euro of Italian products in India. So we have problems. They're basically defense and transmission products. The company is buying up very reliable, and we also had excellent support from the Italian embassy whenever there were questions from the company. And when Indians also wanted to go for factory acceptance testing and installation trainings and all, we are very good. But the only problem we find is the banks do not accept the letter of credits. Letter of credits are standard norms of payment in India. So when an order is given, a letter of credit is given, and that is 100% bank-to-bank guarantee for payment. And currently we find there is a lot of, no interest in the Italian banks to accept letter of credit. So this causes a problem because we were working with another company called DVB in Italy, and they had problems to accept letter of credit, and so they could not process approximately 6 million euro order for the amplifiers, basically gallium nitride amplifiers of very high value. So under these circumstances, what I request the Trade Commissioner is to make the Italian banks knowledgeable about the letter of credit norms by addressing the Italian banks through some kind of communication from the trade angle from Italy. I don't know, it's a democratic world, so we can't say we can force them, but some education is required for the Italian banks because you keep losing a lot of business because the standard norm is to supply through letter of credit as per the European Union norms, And Italy banks are very, very uninterested in this operation. I don't know why. So this is one question. But we had a very excellent support from the Italian.
I'm not sure that this is a general problem for all the bank system. It's better that we can discuss bilateral research because I imagine, I presume that it's a particular problem with a particular bank because we don't have received any information of any issue in general about the acceptance of letter of credits. But I'm very happy, and we can meet at the embassy. We can involve even the representative of Banca Italia, which is the central bank of Reserve of Italy, who is based here in New Delhi too. So we can have a chat all together and try to find out where is the origin of this particular problem or this particular situation. So we will meet later and we will attend directly. Thank you.
Some kind of, information to banks to give them confidence in Indian credit corporations, that's very important.
I think, we'll cover this, offline. Yeah, thank you. Do you have one more question right now?
Yes, hello. Good morning. My name is Pedrick. I'm working for the EU delegation here. I have a question, but not to represent the EU, but just for interest. And I was interested in the last speaker from India, especially you are based in Europe, in Milan. And I wanted to direct a question mostly to the Indian colleagues, to Pawan from SIA, and what is the genuine interest right now of Indian business to come to Europe? Because we heard a lot this morning about Indian interested to go abroad, and your space economy going to be multiplied by 8 in the next 10 years, which is incredible growth. So I have the reverse question, because when you want to establish a partnership, you also have to invest in the other partners. It's not only welcoming the other side. So you are a good example, but how many of those examples, how many Indian companies invest in Europe in space? So it's between you and Pawan, if I could have maybe examples or ideas or where you want to go, because you are going to multiply by 8. You are 2% of the world space economy, and you want to be around 10%, multiplied by 5 in 10 years. So how are you going to do it? Only develop your domestic national Indian market, or are you going to develop also the market abroad? I don't know if Pawan or if you...
Yeah, I think Mr. Kapoor can represent all the Indian companies now.
This is a tough question at the time being for India to invest outside, because it's an emerging market in India and it's coming out to be very big. So India is more inviting, what I would say, the European industries into India for the time being. And this is going to create an economy of scale. Like in the terrestrial, that is in what we call the telecom sector, is the largest next to China. We have over 1 billion customers. So it is going to explode in India, and it has a huge, tremendous, what I would say, opportunity. And once the economy of scale picks up, then the investments go outside. If you see where I was with Bharti Airtel, now it's taking over the British Telecom. Gradually, they are investing into that. Then they have invested in Africa. So this is going to be a joint collaboration, but Indian companies are open. From SIA now I'm saying, not as an individual, but SIA I'm saying, Indian companies are open with their technology, because ISRO has opened up their technology, so, and to the private sector, and they are open for joint investments outside too. And if any feedback is required, SI can help in that direction. But from my side, what I can say is currently Indian companies are looking at the opportunities in India and grow the economy scale and then go outside.
Thank you, Mr. Kapoor.
Yeah, please.
I am not qualified to answer that question. I'll just say give them free Ferraris,
Electric.
Even better. Free Ferraris, okay. I thought you were going to say free visa.
Visas don't count. Nor do.
All right, I think you can always connect with our esteemed speakers, offline after the session. We would like to conclude the session now, and may I please request Mr. Pawan Kapoor, the CIA board member, we would like to give a small token of appreciation to our esteemed speakers and panelists. Maybe we can go with the... First one, Professor Sergio Ledda. Miss Antonietta Baccanari. Mr. Roberto Pierdominici. Mr. Roberto Simonetti.
What he said, what Pawan said.
Mr. Jay. Maybe we can take a group photograph as well.
तो कर जाओ
Where?
अरे उनसे बात कर लो तो बताइए
This guy's favorite. Look over there.
Thank you, lovely audience. On behalf of the Italian Trade Agency, we would like to thank you for your time and participation.
Can you take everybody? Are we coming in that? In the film? Or you need a satellite to come? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. So very nice.
Thank you once again to the panelists. It was a wonderful session. And now we all break for lunch. And I would like to thank you as well for joining us and taking us forward. We break up for the lunch right now and come back at 2:30.